My name is the Frame Runner, and today I'm going to be going over a guide on how to level up your weapons and packs a lot faster. To start, I must first go over a dungeon type called the Glades of Anduran, or Glades for short. As of Preludes 9, there are 3 Glades dungeons, and I'm going to be showing you the location of each one. This is the location of the first Glade dungeon, and it is also where you can start Verminia's quest if you have not already. There's a big tunnel located under this big tree, and that is where the dungeon entrance resides. The second location is at this big rock almost in the middle of the map with a twisted tree poking out the top, which makes it very easy to spot. There is a crack in between the rocks in which you will drop down, and it will lead you to the entrance of the dungeon. And the last location is here on the map, and if you have the name unlocked, it is called the Garen Shrine. There is a little tunnel / cave, if you will, and that is where the dungeon entrance is located. The reason why we need to know these locations is because in the Glade dungeons there is a specific room referred to as the Endless Wave room that can spawn. It is not a guaranteed spawn, but it can only spawn inside of these Glade dungeons. There are other Endless Wave rooms, but the Glade one exclusively spawns this enemy on screen here over and over. This enemy gives the most amount of XP compared to other basic enemies to my knowledge, and is why this is one of the fastest ways to level your weapons and packs. I'll show how to defeat these enemies a little later in the video because there is a little trick to it, and you probably already see it on screen, but I'll still show it later. Each dungeon in Soulframe is randomly generated, meaning typically no one dungeon is going to be exactly the same as another in its complete layout. Since dungeons are randomly generated, I will not be able to show you the exact location in dungeon of this room. In fact, like I said, it is not guaranteed to spawn, so you might have to run through the dungeon a few times before finding the room we are looking for. The one thing I can show you is the entrance to this Endless Wave room, and I can also give you a few pointers on how to survive and the amounts of XP you'll be looking at. This is what the Endless Wave room looks like. In the center of this room, you will find a deer statue. This is the deer statue in the middle of the wave room. You will go up to it and press the interact button, and that will start the waves. But before you go and do that, let me give you a few tips on how to survive, the amounts of XP you'll be getting, and some other things that could ruin the run if you do them. If you are playing solo, your top priority is to stay alive. If you die, the waves will stop spawning, and you will not be able to go back to the deer statue to start the waves again. You would have to completely leave the dungeon, find this room again, just to be able to start another run. A tip that will help you survive is that enemies have a high chance of dropping loot bags. These specific loot bags are guaranteed to drop a life elixir, also known as a health potion. So make sure throughout your run to pick up these loot bags when you are low on health potions. To kill this specific enemy type as well, you will need to use your smite ability after their health bar goes to 0. If you do not, they will come back to life with half HP, and you will have gotten no XP for making their health bar go down. Another tip for staying alive is that if you break the 2 faces on this machine here, you can actually stand on top of it and the enemies won't be able to get you. But since you have to use the smite ability, you won't be able to reach them, so to actually defeat them you'll have to get off of it. But it's a nice safe space if you need to take a breather or go do something. If you try to enter the Nightfold while doing this solo, it will also end the spawns of the waves, so don't think that you can change weapons or packs while doing a run. Now that I've shown you a few tips, I'll be showing the amounts of XP that you can gain throughout the waves. At wave 10, you'll be gaining 1843 XP for each enemy. At wave 20, you'll be gaining 2400 XP for each enemy. At wave 30, you'll be gaining 2827 XP for each enemy. And at wave 40, you'll be gaining 3187 XP for each enemy. And that's basically it. You're just going to keep defeating these enemies until you get as much XP as you wanted. And a quick little thing before I do my outro here, it's usually taken me around level 30 to 35, wave 30, 35 to max out a weapon. and I think more than that for Pacts, probably around 40, but that's just off memory. I haven't done research on it, but yeah. It's been the Frame Runner. Thank you for watching, and hopefully more in the future.